I'm Carrie Penny, and you're listening to Secret Heart Broadcasting. Welcome to Secret Heart Broadcasting, and today in the studio, Krista Leitl on beauty. Let's say Krista's going to talk about beauty and skin health, but I know you've been a skin therapist for like more or less 3 decades.
Yeah.
You're the founder of Color Twist here in Calgary, Canada.
Yeah.
And in the time that I've known you, to say you're passionate about skin care and skin health would be an understatement. I've never met anyone who knows as much and is as passionate as you are. You're welcome. And I kind of want to thought, so I know you're very sciencey and science geeky and curious about, what happens when, but I think I want to start with the idea of thoughts. Does that have any bearing on skin and skin health? And I came across that Coco Chanel quote: nature gives you the face you have at 20, life shapes the face you have at 30, but at 50, you get the face that you deserve. True or false, and why?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yes, for sure. I think my favorite quote that I always like to say is, it's easier to put the brakes on than clean up the crash. So I think that the way that you live your life, how you enjoy your life, because everybody needs to enjoy their life. And sometimes some of that is not good for our skin. But, I do. I think that quote is very accurate. We get the face that we deserve at 50. Is how have you taken care of yourself? How have you taken care of your skin inwardly and outwardly? And how have you enjoyed life? Like, life is to be enjoyed too. It's not to be kept in this little box of like, I can't do this, I can't do that. Go and enjoy yourself. Go in the sun, but use protection. Go and have that glass of wine, but do moderation. Maybe smoke a cigarette every now and then. I don't know. The French do it. So, it's just, but I think the main thing is, yes, you do get the skin that you deserve at 50, depending on how you've lived that life, right?
And that reminds me, when you were speaking, then there's a Rosalind Russell quote. I mean, I love quotes. And it's something like, taking joy in life is a woman's best beauty secret, or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't kind of, think I can't do this because that's bad for my skin.
No, I think you have to, life is to be lived, but you can do it mindfully. If your skin is very important for you, there's ways to protect it, but still enjoy yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm here. I teach people how to do that, and I think it's very doable.
So, what is, when we think about skin and the face, like what are, obviously we're talking about this bit, but how far does it extend, and where does the care line stop?
Right. So I always go from your nipples up, right? Okay. So that's a part that's mostly exposed to weather, the sun. So the skin on our body, like if you look at somebody who has been in the sun a lot, their arms and their face are going to look a lot different than their legs if they've been wearing pants, or their stomach. It will not have aged, because that extrinsic stress from being in the sun and wind and cold or whatever is going to change our skin. So I always say, if you're using good products that aren't cheap, usually you want to just really care for your décolleté, your neck, and your face.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we met over COVID. I was looking for a product and had no idea this product was in Calgary, and we connected that way. And I had no idea. You're basically almost impossible to see. You're so very busy. Women. So I was, yay me. I was so lucky I got to just, meet you that way. One of the first conversations we had, of course, was about skincare. And I said, my mom was really influential in my life about that. And we did not grow up with a lot, but she would say over and over again, cleanse, tone, moisturize. My mom also had great skin, and I recognize that's genetics as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but she really instilled that in me to the point where, I can't go to bed in my makeup.
Either can I. Absolutely. My mom was the same way. My mom had beautiful skin. Unfortunately, my mom passed away when she was 52. So at that point, she still had beautiful, beautiful skin. And that was her her thing also, she introduced me to my first facials when I was just a young teenager, and she drummed it into my head, never go to bed without washing your face. And there was always a facial cleanser. There was never bar soap. My mom always made sure that I had some type of facial cleanser and some moisturizer. And you don't need to spend thousands of dollars unless you want to on very expensive skincare. It's about consistency. So don't go to bed with your dirty makeup on your face and get it all over your pillows and then put your face, your face is on that for 8 hours. So you want your skin your skin is a living organ. So you want your skin to regenerate at nighttime. And when it's protecting itself constantly from bacteria or free radicals that is on our skin, it can't do that. So you have to treat it as a living organ and respect that.
As you're talking, I'm thinking in movies, always the woman wakes up in the morning and rolls over and she's fully made up. Like we never see barefaced women in film and TV.
Yeah, absolutely. And who's going to wake up like that? If you go to bed with your makeup on, you're going to roll over and your mascara will be smeared so it's just not realistic. And that's unfortunately, I mean, that's something that we can talk about too, the unrealistic expectations that media puts on women and how we are supposed to look, right? Mm-hmm. But that's, if you want to talk about it now, we can, but that may be another time, right?
Well, let's do a little mini deep dive there, because I'm also thinking about Pamela Anderson lately, who showed up at Paris Couture Week barefaced, which was revolutionary, and she got so much press.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad press.
No, it's not bad press, but why should it be press at all, is what I'm thinking. This beautiful woman is showing up with gorgeous skin. Why should it be anything? Why should women cover up their skin? Why should we have this view that we have to be all dolled up with makeup? I mean, it's nice to do, but yay for Pamela Anderson. Yay for these women that are like, you know what? I'm not going to bow down to this anymore. I'm going to take care of myself. Again, your face is what you get at 50. So be proud of that. Be proud of who you are and don't cover it up. And I think that women are really embracing that now. And in my business, they're taking that investment from a younger age in their 20s to really just look at skincare as a wellness regime. You're taking care of yourself, so why wouldn't you take care of your skin? And then you have this beautiful skin when you're 50, and you can just, glow to the world. It's just gorgeous. So I think that that's important, and I'm happy that that's happening for sure. Yeah.
So we're talking about skincare and skin health, and not makeup and bowing down to some expectation of how a woman should look.
100%.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Take care of yourself. Be proud of yourself. And that's what I preach to my clients. Is they're like, oh, I don't have to wear makeup anymore. I'm like, yes, like that's awesome. This is why we're creating such a beautiful canvas, is because you don't want to have to cover that up all the time. You want to be proud of yourself. And not that you won't be proud of yourself if you wear makeup. Wear makeup. Some women love makeup, and that's awesome. But I'm just saying it's part of wellness.
I have a daughter who's in her early 20s and, has the skin of a woman who's in her early 20s. And, I would be lying if I said aging and looking at my face in the mirror every day is like, wow, yay you. Yesterday I was saying, what is that? And I make a point of saying I love myself every morning in the mirror.
Yeah.
Which is my practice. But it's, it is interesting watching one's face change. Do you have any thoughts on that? Or
well, I mean, it's hard not to, do the old push up when I don't know one woman who has not done that when they look in the mirror. She's like, oh, if it just could be a little bit like that. But you know what? It is what it is. It's part of life. Like it's the wrinkles that we have are how you smile, how you express yourself. And I believe in Botox. I believe in, if you want to do fillers, I believe in all of that. Just don't overdo it. Don't erase what's happened in your life, right? You still want to have these beautiful lines. Like it's just part of who we are. And we're alive, for God's sake. So that's a bonus, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my second thing.
Yeah.
And my mother, I've said this before, my mother used to say, oh, I'm just thankful for another day. And at the time, I didn't understand. And every morning I'm thankful for another day now.
It's true.
So what can we do? Like, what's possible? What's possible what's possible?
There's a lot. We're aging in a really awesome time. Skincare is just becoming more and more advanced. And because people are spending a lot of money, like billions and billions and billions of dollars worldwide on skincare, the research and development that can happen in skincare is just exploded. So it's gotten to a very scientific level with, you have physicists working on skincare lines now to design carrier systems to get active ingredients to where we want them to be. And so it's all very, very scientific. So that's the whole thing. When our moms were using Noxzema and this and that was basically just kind of forming an occlusive seal, keeping your own natural moisture in and protecting it from exterior things. So now what we are looking at are different peptides, which are amino acid, like proteins to strengthen the skin. Peptides can do certain things. And so you can have a collagen peptide, you can have this or that peptide. So anyways, peptides are one thing, but it is a delivery system, which fascinates me. So we're able to get specific active ingredients to different layers and different cells where it's most beneficial to our skin. They're dealing in epigenetics now too, which is amazing. So it's just endless. So that what they're creating now, we're very, very lucky to be involved in this because I think it's an exciting time in skincare for sure.
And I know your practice is it's sciencey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love science. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it is possible then to put something on topically on your skin and have that actually get into your skin.
100%.
And what about from the inside out? Like, is nutrition important? And I'm assuming the answer is yes, but why and how?
So you're feeding your cells. So just think of how many cells are in your skin. It's just not a skin cell. There's numerous cells that are working together to do what our skin does. So all of that needs to be energized and fueled. So if you're putting crap into your body, you're going to get crap out. Your skin is an excretory organ. So you're going to see, like I've seen, if your cortisol levels are too high, you can see that in the skin. If your essential fatty acids are too low, you can see that in the skin. So all of these things, if you're not eating a balanced diet and drinking enough water and supplementing, I believe in supplements very much, your skin will show it for sure.
Is there a supplement that's important? And I'm going back to my mom who's always like cod liver oil.
It's true. So essential fatty acids, they keep the cell membrane permeable. So it allows junk to leave your cell and good stuff to come into your cell. So if you don't have enough essential fatty acids, that's not working properly. We have an alpha lipoic layer on our skin too. It needs to have good oils, and good oils are not McDonald's French fries, or if you're eating bad oils, it's also going to show in your skin because your skin will produce a very viscous, very sticky sebum. That's the oil that is on our skin. So it all shows. Like when you lay down on my bed, I can tell what's been going on. So
there's no lying once you're in you.
Yeah.
I came to see you during COVID or, somewhere around that time. It was a very stressful time.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you see in your clients over that time? I mean, and I guess I'm asking about the role of stress in a woman's life.
So there was a lot of perioral dermatitis that we noticed.
What is that?
Perioral dermatitis is this rash that people get around their mouth. It's on the chin. So it goes around the mouth. So perioral, and it's very itchy. It looks like eczema, but it's only around the mouth area. And they really don't know what causes it. So it's treated with a dose of antibiotics. A lot of people want to put cortisone cream on it, but honestly, it just makes it worse. So don't ever do that. Go to your doctor and get antibiotics for it. And then it just takes it away. But we exponentially across, my contacts of other estheticians across Canada, we saw an increase in that. So we think that was directly related to the stress of COVID or COVID. Who even knows how COVID affected our immune system, our systems in general, right? So we did see a lot of that. And then one other thing that was kind of weird was how they saw that COVID was affecting fillers too, which was weird. It was kind of making them move within not with everybody, but with some people. So that was another thing too that we had talked about last time I was in Paris with the other estheticians. So I think stress will directly affect your skin 100%.
I love that when I was in Paris with the other estheticians, and I know you travel quite often to meet, on a world stage and discuss skin health.
Yeah.
What are some other things you speak about in these Paris estheticians?
Oh, what do we talk about? We talk about everything. It's just, we're such skin geeks, and we meet at 8:30 in the morning and we're together all day, and then we go for dinner at night. So it's hard to even just think about one thing that we talk about, because we talk about everything. But we talk about skin reactions. We talk about different active ingredients, what's exciting happening in the industry, what's new, and what should we be looking for. So we just share a lot between us. I was just texting with two of them this morning about a new skincare line that I'm going to be trying out that I think will be amazing. So yeah, it's just communication, and it's just skin geek talk, basically.
And is there the same kind of overarching philosophy that life is to be enjoyed? So, for example, do you have a glass of wine
100%,
at dinner?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of champagne. There's not, we're pretty subdued. There's no nightclubs or anything like that. And we're all pretty tight. We believe in sleep. We believe in water. We believe in nutrition. But absolutely have that glass of wine, have that glass of champagne, especially when you're in Paris. Why wouldn't you?
My daughter uses a light, and I've seen this a lot lately on my Instagram feed. There's like the, red light mask.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is happening with lights?
Okay.
And
Yeah. So lights are, the LED treatments is what you're talking about. So the visible light spectrum, each color in the visible light spectrum has a different wavelength and frequency, which can allow it to go to a certain depth within the skin to create reactions within those cells at that level in your skin. So I have a machine called Max, which was made by Jennifer Brodeur, who is amazing in Montreal. I love her. And she and her husband developed Max, and it's a machine that oscillates over the top of your face, and it has a computer programmed of different colors that will activate certain things to do things in your skin that I want to do. The reason why oscillating is important is because it works best if it's a burst of energy and then your cells can rest, and then a burst of energy and your cells can rest. So I get that question a lot because there's so much on the market right now with these facial masks. So I talked to the Max developers, and you don't ever really want a mask like sitting on so close on your face. Now this is just my personal opinion and when I've talked to other estheticians, because number one, if it's not measured perfectly, those lights could be creating heat or UV radiation, which is not great. If you have some inflammation, it could cause pigmentation. So you have to be, it's buyer beware. Do your research on it. Not all masks are created equal. If you buy it off of Amazon for $20, I wouldn't go near it probably. So you just do your research, talk to your esthetician, let her do research for you also. And just don't jump on the bandwagon of, oh, there's that red light therapy, I'm going to get it. It's going to be the miracle for my skin, because you could be creating damage within your skin for sure.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite. I'm like, red light therapy, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah. No, it's excellent. Like I use it in my treatment room because sometimes I like to create inflammation in the skin, because creating inflammation can stimulate collagen within the skin. When you damage the skin, your body's response is to produce collagen. So if you cut yourself, scar tissue is collagen. It's how it repairs itself. So I create inflammation in the skin, and then I can bring that inflammation down safely with Max by using like infrared, which goes the deepest and calms the skin down. So I really use Max all the time because it's so it's just so beneficial for my clients.
So when you're talking about creating inflammation, is that like a peel or
Yeah.
I've seen needling.
Yeah.
I've never done needling.
Yeah. Micropuncture. We don't do deep micropuncture. We do 0.25. It is beneficial for sure. It's peels, yes. So you're creating inflammation in the skin that way. But I don't do anything. I don't hammer away at the skin. Like I really want to gently bring it to health. I don't want to just, I'm going to peel it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I don't ever do that with the skin. I want to build strength within the skin. I want to build health. So yeah, there's inflammation is not always a bad thing, but let a professional do it. That said, you can get those little roll kits, the CITs, the collagen induction therapy, and they're just a tiny little needle. And you can do that at home, but you have to be careful to make sure your skin's clean and you clean it properly. But it doesn't go that deep, and it just gently kind of prickles your skin, and that really helps. Again, stimulate collagen.
As we're talking about this, I'm thinking, so how it's worked for me is, you come into your office, your treatment room, I guess, and lie on the bed, and then you're very close. It's really intimate, right?
Yeah.
Like you're touching my skin. There must be a psychology involved in that, because I am naturally a skittish person, and I feel completely at home with you, but there's something else going on. Yeah, you're doing the treatment, but it is strangely intimate, the work.
That is one of the reasons why I got into skincare also. It's because I'm a skincare science geek, but I love people. Like I'm not a social person by any means. I like one-on-one, and I've always loved touching people. So I feel honored that somebody's going to give me 2 hours of their time and trust me with their skin, because it's a trust. And so I think there's a mutual trust between my client and myself when we're in the treatment room, and I'm there for them 100%. And it's a psychology room also. What gets said in my room stays in my room. So it's a safe place. And sometimes people don't have that. So yeah, I'm happy to be there for them for sure.
And sometimes people fall asleep.
Yes, they do.
How did you get into this?
Oh, you know what? I, again, always loved skincare, went for facials myself. I modeled for 10 years, and that I was down in Los Angeles, and I just really started getting tired of the whole modeling scene. And I was like, I need a change. I need to do something that is just really for me, that I want to do, that I'm passionate about, that I can, really dig my claws into. And it just happened so organically that it was just like, this is what I want to do. And so I went to school down there, and aesthetic school, it's only skincare in California. So you don't do nails, you don't do this. It's just for a year and a half, you just study the skin. So you really get in depth into the skin. And I just loved it. So I started my career down in California, and then just missed Calgary, missed my sister, missed, her boys were growing up, and I just wanted to come home. So I came home and got a place at Color Twist, and with my business partner, Marilyn, she was there, and we've been business partners ever since. And that's it. I've just never, it's what I love to do, and I can't think of not doing it.
I think it's not an exaggeration to say your practice would thrive in any city, any big city, anywhere. And here you are in our lovely city. We're in Calgary, Canada, by the way. And so there's never a feeling of like, oh, I should have moved to Paris full time.
No, you know what? I traveled a lot when I was modeling, and this is always home for me. Like I just absolutely love Calgary. I love the mountains, and I love the people here. People here are passionate. Like it's an extraordinary place, and I will never leave Calgary. So
that's in the interviews we've been doing, the theme of enough has been coming through. Like, it's just at some point in life, at a certain age, it's just enough, and you can be okay with enough.
Yeah.
Which must be good for your skin, because that seems to be reducing stress.
It's easy to put a lot of pressure on yourself, especially with Instagram, and it's like, oh, I got to get more followers. I got to get this and that. And it's just like, why? Just do what you love to do. And this is what I've always told my kids. Just find something that you love to do and do it. And happiness, success, everything will come with that. And I do believe in that. And that I've never not believed that. And I think that's why I've come as far as I have, because failure was never in my mind at all, because I was doing what I love to do. So how is that failure, right? From the very beginning. And so I feel very fortunate for sure. Yeah.
That idea of failure, not an option, my words, not yours, or just the idea of what you're telling your kids, find something you love and follow it.
Yeah.
Is that something that your mom taught you, or how did you learn that?
You know what? Unfortunately, I was 26 when my mom passed, and she was sick for a long time. So she was a very strong woman, and yeah, I never felt like I had failed at anything when I was around her. Like, she just loved me no matter what. And I think that actually works, right? Like, if you know you're loved and supported, you feel invincible. So yes, I would say that she installed that in me for sure. My grandmother kind of stepped into her shoes after she had passed. And again, another very strong human being. She passed when she was 98. So I was grateful I had many years with her, as did my kids. And then my mother-in-law, she was my mom's best friend, which was amazing.
Oh, wow.
And she's also an amazingly strong woman. So I think if you just surround yourself with strong women that have faced a lot of adversity, but just gotten through it, failure is not in your vocabulary. It's just work hard, be passionate, and love people. Be happy with what you do.
Wow, 98.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was just 90 when she passed and had beautiful skin. And one thing I admire, I can speak, I guess, to my mom, but she never really gave up. Like, there's, and I'm talking about skincare, just kindness, or she to the end, she's putting a little
100%. My grandmother always looked put together, like always, right to the end. Like the day before she passed, I went and we did her hair and I put some lipstick on her, and my husband says, "Oh, geez, Elizabeth, you look great. Are you going out tonight?" And she was she goes, "I certainly hope not," because and she died the next day. We knew she was dying. So, but again, never gave up. She just took care of herself, took care of business, took care of her family, and I think that's maybe genetically ingrained in me, and you just do it.
I just want to take a step back and talk about aging. And like, I have felt in my life that as I've gotten older, there's in the culture we live in, which is not throughout the world, but women become less vital, less valuable, less, people are less polite to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that was me on the inside saying something's going on, or if the value of women decreases as we age in this society. Do you have any thoughts on that? And
I don't think the value of women decrease. Maybe, but I don't know. I just look up to women who have experience, and that would be a shame if that was actually the way it is, because we're a wealth of knowledge, and we should be, held up high for that. But maybe it's in our own brains that, when you walk in a room, you don't turn all the heads anymore. And it's like, well, whatever, that day's past, right? So again, looking at your stages of life, that's okay. Like, I don't know, who needs that at this point, right? We don't really care about them either. So do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like age and stage. So maybe we put that pressure on ourselves thinking that that's what it is. But I truly don't believe that. I think that we are more of a mentor. We've taken on more of a mentor role and a guidance role, and being there for the younger generation of women and helping them, rise up and find their passion and just be there for them, because life, you need mentors.
I love that. And I think that's part of the conception of Secret Heart Broadcasting was, let's be mentors. Let's share what we know. Wise women, women's knowledge.
Yeah.
Having said that, do men come get facials?
100%. Yeah. I have a few men that have been coming to me for years, and 100% their skin changes. A lot of men, when they come in, I don't know, they think their testosterone is going to drop or something. Right? If they're so afraid, I'm like, don't worry, nothing's going to happen in here. But their skin changes and they are spending money on their skin, and men want their skin to look well. And I think it's kind of like a machismo thing. It's like, oh, I don't do anything with my skin. It's like, well, you should, why shouldn't you want healthy skin? So yeah, a lot of men come in, they're like, oh, I wash my face with shampoo. And I'm like, what are you doing? Just don't even say that to me. So it's just education. And by far, the majority of my client base is women, but no, there's a few men for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's interesting. And how does it work with a beard? Is it just my little?
Well, no, you can work around a beard. I prefer not to. Like, I prefer to work on nice, smooth skin and not have stubble or anything like that. Just to get the product out, it's a lot more easy, and you can treat the skin more. I do have clients with big full beards, and we treat the skin that I can see. It's just different maneuvering. Mm-hmm.
As a client of yours, I know what I feel. I mean, I feel better. I feel relaxed. You always hold up the mirror at the end, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I love that too.
Why do you do it?
Why do I hold up the mirror to you?
Yeah.
Well, because you know what? I just feel that you just look so beautiful, and you should look at that, right? Like, some women come in and they just don't feel good about themselves. And I think we really are hard on ourselves. So when I see that glow, that plump, you're relaxed. You've taken 2 hours for yourself, which a lot of women don't do. So I think it's just important. It's like, look at you, you're gorgeous. And I want you feeling that. And I want you leaving with that energy of just like, wow, I'm really gorgeous. And not that gorgeous is an exterior thing, but it's feel good about yourself. And I think that's so important, because in the treatment room too, I do hear just so many negative self-talk, like, oh, my skin is just so wrinkly and I'm so old and I'm this and that. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, you are beautiful. Let's focus on some of this good stuff. So I think that's what I want to instill in women, that don't be so hard on yourself.
When you've held up that mirror to me, there's been 1 or 2 times I've cried because you say, oh, you're beautiful. And, it's so interesting. Can we believe we're beautiful? Sometimes it's just too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is sad, right?
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah. It's hard to be a woman in this society and feel good about yourself. It's like, oh, I have to lose 5 pounds, or oh, I'm too wrinkly, and this and that. No, you're not. Let's just put that negative self-talk aside, and really, again, it's about holding each other up and just being beautiful women. I'm not talking about exterior beauty. I'm just talking about the feeling of that. And just helping that.
Believing that you have value, that you're beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Are there any books that you, and I know you study all the time and are, when you're not practicing, you are learning. Are there any books that you can recommend?
Yeah, I do love studying and pushing my brain out of this box. But one book, since we're talking about skin, that I absolutely love and is so interesting, it's called The Remarkable Life of Skin. And if anybody's interested in learning about skin and how your skin functions, because it actually is quite remarkable, I would really recommend that book. It's just a book that you can just have on your nightstand or on your desk and have a cup of coffee and just flip through it. So I just enjoy books like that.
We talked a little bit, just in kind of wrapping up, in what your mom taught you, this idea that failure not an option, and kind of being in her, I get the impression of this like radar beam of love, right? Like, you are loved.
Yeah.
What things do you hope you pass on to your kids or your clients?
Same. I hug my clients. I love, people need love. Like, they need to, if you're not feeling loved, it's really sad. Like, your life is difficult. And, that's why I feel honored actually when people come in my room, because I'm like, maybe this person hasn't been touched by another human being in months. You don't know what the story is. So I just want to give all of my love and energy so that they can leave my room feeling, that was amazing, and maybe do something with that, right? not that I'm magic, but I could feel that from my mom. I felt loved, and from my grandmother. And I do that with my kids. Like, my kids are probably so sick and tired of me telling them that I love them, but that's how we live in my family. We tell each other all the time that you're worthy, you're loved. And I think it makes a big difference. So they know that they can go out and into the world and experience life and be kind, be good. And I will always be here for them. It doesn't matter. So I think that gives you a sense of success right there, of confidence.
And beautiful skin. I mean, love has to be a secret ingredient.
Yeah.
Quickly, one last question.
Yeah.
Sunscreen or no sunscreen?
Sunscreen. I have it on right now. I do not leave the house without sunscreen on. So again, going back to family trips and stuff, we don't really do Hawaii anymore because I'll be like, is the sun on me? Is the sun on me? I got to reapply. I'm just like fanatical about it. So 100%, if there's one thing that you could do for your skin, it's sunblock. And it's just, you could spend thousands of dollars on skincare. If you're going out in that sun and you're not putting sunblock on, just throw that away because it is so damaging. So absolutely sunblock. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you so very much for coming down. Yeah, it's great, and we'll put your socials at the end of the episode. And just thank you so much for coming down and being part of Secret Heart Broadcasting.
Thanks, Carrie.